Now you may be wondering, why are you having a Guinness? There is a reason, that reason being that it is currently, at time of recording, the 14th of March. We are 3 days out from St. Patrick's Day, which if you don't know St. Patrick's Day, it's a commonly celebrated holiday in Ireland and in other parts of the world. But I'm not going to go into detail about what St. Patrick's Day is. However, I will go into detail about today's video. You might also notice that I'm currently in a bit different attire, and that is because I have now become a professional chef. As I said in last video, I am gaining my skills quite rapidly. I'm only this far away from becoming a professional sous chef without working in a restaurant ever in my life. But today I thought we'd make something nice and special, something easy, something that anyone can do and is extremely comforting. Something you eat on a nice winter's evening with a Guinness, of course. Because in this video, we're going to be making beef and Guinness stew. Let's head over to the kitchen. Alright, so what better way to start a video about cooking with Guinness than to have one itself? I might make a video in the future about pouring a proper Guinness. Look out for that in the future if you are interested. Grab yourself a cutting board, grab 2 onions and 3 cloves of garlic. Crush the cloves of garlic and chop them into small fine pieces. And then grab your onions and do the same thing with them. But you don't really need to be too exact with them since it's a stew. You don't need to be finely diced. Grab yourself some speck. Cut it into small cubes, same concept as the onions really. And then you want to grab your carrots, cut the ends off and peel them. And then you want to chop them into 1.5 to 2 centimeter pieces. It doesn't need to be finely chopped since, you know, it's going in a stew. It's going to be soft and nice. And you grab yourself 2 to 3 stalks of celery. Take the ends off or keep them because you can use it for a vegetable stock later on, and do this exact same thing you did with the carrots and do it with the celery. Now for the fun part, you want to grab yourself some meat. We had Wagyu casserole. You can use chuck, you can use any slow cooking beef is ideal. You want to salt and pepper that before we put it in. Make sure it's all nicely coated with the seasoning. Then you want to come over to the stove where you've got your Dutch oven sat. You want to get directly in front of the camera and set your Dutch oven to high. Chuck some olive oil in that pan. Then you want to sear your beef. I found that a lot of liquid pulled up at the bottom while I was searing, so you're gonna have to do it in batches. Like, you're gonna take the beef out like shown in the video and then put more beef in. I drained the liquid that had pulled at the bottom so you get a better sear. I would highly recommend doing that if you have the same issue I do. Now I'll go on to the step where you add some olive oil and add your onions and garlic. The heat should be a roughly medium high at this point. You don't need it searing hot anymore. Make sure to salt your onion. And then next thing, you want to add your smoked speck, which is an amazing smell. If you've ever smelt it before, it's literally the most amazing thing ever. Add your carrots, add your celery, and give it another good stir. The next thing you want to do is grab your flour. You want 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in your stew. Mix that together. Make sure it's all uniformly mixed. Now for the fun part, add your Guinness. I had a 440ml can. I know some places in the world they have 500 plus ml cans. And then you'll add your chicken stock. I had Campbell's, which is deplorable, but literally there was no other brands available, which was unfortunate. And you want to add yourself some tomato paste. You want maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons. I probably used a little bit too much. You want to add yourself 2 bay leaves and 3 sprigs of thyme. Give that a good stir. Add your beef that you had taken out from before. And then at this point, you want to let it simmer for about 2 hours, covered with a lid. After about 2 hours, it should look like this. And then you want to sort of simmer it for another 40-45 minutes, maybe an hour. Mine took, I think, closer to an hour. I set up really late for this video. You want to grab yourself 2 nice russet potatoes. You want to peel them and chop them into uniform pieces. With a pot of boiling water on the stove, salt that and chuck your potatoes in the boiling water. Make sure you continue to stir your stew just so it doesn't burn at the bottom. Then once your potatoes are cooked, which you can check by touching them, and if they break very easily, they're cooked, drain them and then transfer them back into the pot where you can chuck it back on the stove without the heat, and you want to start mashing it. Just get really in there. Make sure it's fully mashed up and ready to go. Then you want to add yourself some milk. Just standard full cream milk would do. If you're lactose intolerant, you could probably use something else. I am lactose intolerant, but I just prefer using normal milk, and some butter, and continue to mix together until nice and smooth. Next, you want to plate it up. Chuck quite a decent amount of mash. I used all the mash I'd cooked, which was 2 potatoes worth. Made a sort of well in the middle for the stew to sit in, and then pile your stew on as much as you want. I didn't actually end up eating all that much, and so keep that in mind. It is very filling and very hearty, so be careful. But there you are, there's the stew. I can assure you it is very tasty and very warming, perfect for a winter's day. It's currently not actually winter, but I still thought it would be nice. But if you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.